So let's do a watch along in the echo chamber. Now we've got 2 minutes 41 of something, 30, which is bigotry. I can't skip that ad for YouTube. So I'm just going to read watch 2 minutes 50 seconds of very little that is.
Hello and welcome to Programming Like It's 1979. Today we're going to look at a 6502 simulator that has a bit of a mystery attached to it. Now, I actually used this as the backdrop to one of my assembly language programming videos. And someone saw it and said, hey, what the heck is that thing? And that's exactly the reaction I wanted, because this thing is crazy. It's on.
I remember that noise. I like that noise.
With the name Apple 6502. That's it. .disk. You can find it on archive.org. And all it has is this one program. There's no identifying information. There's no here's who wrote this. It's just this program. So let's run it and find out what it does. Okay, so first it asks us if we want to load a program from disk.
So let's talk to David San Giorgi, or maybe he's, don't know if he's still alive or not. He's Robin Milner's friend. If I've got his name right, even. David. He is, according to Wikipedia, an Italian professor of computer science at Bologna. The thing is that the stuff that they did on early and late bisimulation is like Galois connections on steroids. Let's look at his homepage. There's Jan Rutten. There you go, there's a category theorist. That's what they look like. He looks okay. He doesn't look mad. And that book, and see if you can't find a way of going back to this video and saying, yes, I want to load a program from disk.
And that's exactly the reaction I wanted, because this thing is crazy. It's on.
I remember that noise. I like that noise.
With the name Apple 6502. That's it. .disk. You can find it on archive.org. And all it has is this one program. There's no identifying information. There's no here's who wrote this. It's just this program. So let's run it and find out what it does. Okay, so first it asks us if we want to load a program from disk. Let's say no. Next, we want to type in some code. Well, I don't know how it wants me to type in code, but let's give it a go. I prepared a very short...
So there's only one program on that disk, and was this business of monitoring the behavior of the system with probes at certain points. If the emulator is emulating the emulator, then you're going to get fixed points. Well, fixed points are going to be the only things you can see. And I think that might be the intuitive way to understand early and late bisimulation.
Assembly language program here.
Let's skip.
Let's look at it. We've got some breaks there. Okay, Control Y. Here we go. Now, what address do we want to begin tracing? Well, we wrote our program at memory address 800. What the hell is going on here? This is amazing. We can see we're loading the value.
That was a long time ago. I'll put the link in the description. No, the reason that I remember that I only used an Apple II for a total of about 3 or 4 hours, but the sound, it must have been Steve Wozniak's disk driver or something. There's something about the whole way that thing worked. It was music. He put a whole lot of the logic. He simplified the disk controller hugely. When I was a kid, I had a BBC, and they used this incredibly complex floppy disk controller chip. It was monstrously expensive because it went out of production just before the machine got produced. So they shipped lots of machines without the ROM. I had a Model A, and these chips cost a fortune. And I stole some. Because what happened was that they came in, a computer company in Shrewsbury had the contract to upgrade the Ludlow College, sixth form college's 2 or 3 BBCs. And the guy who did it went and left a whole tube of about 4 or 5 of these things. And so I just put them in the cupboard and shut up about it. And after a few weeks, and I took them home. And I think I sold one of them and bought something with, because they were really expensive. They were like 60 quid each. That was really bad. But hell, I don't know if I did. Yeah, I did eventually get it working, because I did have a disk drive at one point. I had one 360k floppy disk, but it never made the right noises. It was slow and clunky. The reason I remembered it, I used the Apple II for a few hours at RGIT with a guy called Lamon Lang, who was the head of computing at Robert Gordon's Institute of Technology in Aberdeen. And one day I went to see my dad. At the time we were living in Fife, I think. No, we were living in Shropshire still. Dad had just got the job at RGIT, and I went up to spend a week with him in Aberdeen before they had a flat. Can't remember where I stayed. don't remember anything about that. All I remember was being able to use the computers in RGIT, and they had tech vector graphics terminals. A storage tube scoped direct scan. They moved the beam across. God, those things were beautiful. But they were all hooked up to a mainframe that was. I didn't know how to program that, but I could program the Apple because it was 6502. But I think I only did BASIC on it. I don't know if I ever learnt the assembler, because I'd only just bought the book, that 6502 assembly language programming. I can't remember his name. Green book with a kind of Inca Maya type design on the cover, published by Osborne. Can't see. Osborne. Lance Leventhal. There's one on eBay, maybe that's the right cover. Anyway, this book had 622 pages in it. And I know that because on the back cover was a sticker that said 622 PP. And there was no price on the book. It was priced in dollars or something. And I asked the guy, I said, is this the price? Is it only £6.22? And he just looked at me slightly weirdly and he said, yes. And so I went to my dad and said, can I have £6.22 to buy a book? And I got it. And I had all the opcodes just straight there. This is not the book. That's not the cover, but I'm pretty sure that's the book. What if I search images? Search for anything. I don't want anything. My internet connection is very slow. No, just sometimes the mouse doesn't work. Or does it? There, that's it. 1979. Like the man said, how many pages does it have? $150. £121. $26, £21 shipping is £142. That's how you do it. Arm, you need a technical writer. Lance Lebensall, he's your man. Anyway, the same. I had this notion that you get similar kind of fixed point behavior in metacircular evaluators evaluating themselves. I just couldn't concretize it. I mean, I was working in my head. This was when I was at Saliri, the bird watching lodge. I used to just sit in the dark at night thinking about computers and chewing coca, and had all these amazing experiences with sound. That was incredible. And that was when the bat dropped dead in front of me. And then just after that, there was a monstrous thunderstorm. It was incredible. It rained for days and days and just washed the road away. There was a huge landslip just about 100 yards down the road. Took out about 50 yards of the road. And it was documented. There's a whole, somebody photographed it all. Charo photographed it all. She said she felt sorry for me, for my situation. I just wanted to get on with stuff. But in Bolivia, not in Britain. Sorry. Emulating the 6582 in JavaScript. This is related. The JavaScript was extracted from a simulation of the electronic level, and I mean
I mean, in my day job at the moment, we do a little bit of like FPGA development type stuff, and the tooling, the plastic case, it looks like this. It's got thousands. The S6502 along with the Z80 sort of picking up, and I suppose directly led to me being here in front of how many computers with them there have been made. Maybe 100,000, maybe half a million or something. But apparently, more than 10 billion of these things have been produced by just one company.
that can't be true. That can't be true. Even if the Freemasons were running some kind of weird node somewhere, or some piece of assembler that had never stopped running, I can't imagine 10 billion. Because I remember in around 1990, there were 1 million PCs, and that was a big moment. That was enough to get viruses viable. I can't believe 10 billion. I think that's maybe this video is some kind of part of a movie or something. This shit like that makes me sick. Poor Ella, doing her brilliant videos without any lecturer. Brilliant videos and brilliant apps, web apps or whatever. That's kind of soul destroying, that process.
Okay, welcome everyone.
I felt sad about the Hungarian guy who did all this.
Engineering of the MOS 6502 CPU that was designed for the Apple II, the NES, or the C64. And I hand you over to Michael Stahl, who will
Even if it was stuck in other devices, maybe they made microcontrollers out of it in the end. Maybe there's some of those shrunk versions ended up on microcontrollers. One of them was on a spaceship with Richard Nixon's brain in a jar, according to the Simpsons cartoon I saw. That sounds about as reliable a source of information about 6502 as this video. Maybe it came from the future, like the Dudlesford messages. That sounds like this kind of thing Alan Garner would have written if he'd written another book after Redshift. We should look up Redshift. I hate all this supernatural crap. I mean, I don't hate it. It's fine as imagination and ideas, but when my life is in such a state that these things are possibilities, and it makes me sick. It makes me fucking sick. The thought that I might be some kind of projection from Starlink satellites that have recreated me in AI, and that this fucking shit of a world will never end for me, and I'll have to live in it forever, makes me want to slip my wrists. I did try read it. I didn't actually enjoy it very much. I don't know what it was. Oh, have I got Duddlesford, isn't it? What were they called? See, phonetic. Yeah, the images it catches, it Doddlesford. No, because Doddleston. See, the AI can't pick up simple statistical. The Doddleston. I like this story. Some ad. 1 minute, 5 seconds of advert about a little girl in Gaza whose house is wrecked and she has to look at it every day. That was an okay story. I don't know how they're going to get the aid to those children. I don't know, but they want the money for it. And I wonder if she's still alive. I mean, should we watch Lee Camp? Should we look at the minimum code to create a TCP client in Forth? See, Peter Sewell, I thought writing the code for the client by just executable semantics on the ISO specs would have been good enough. Living with schizophrenia. What went wrong? What could go wrong? Mind distinct from body. Philosophy overdose. 41 minutes ago, but it's 27:02.